My step-grandpa came to the States and brought my mom with them, and so she knew absolutely no English, and so he came to his, I guess, platoon. I don't know what it's called, but he asked his group if anyone would like to teach a beautiful Spanish lady how to speak English. And so my dad was there with his hands ready to I'm sorry. So my dad volunteered. He was the first one, and I think the only one that volunteered. And so they agreed on a time where he could go to his home and meet my mom. I don't remember how long that my parents were actually dating, maybe 3 months. 3 months. And then they eloped, and then 7 days later he was discharged to Vietnam. After he passed away, I was going through the paperwork and I found this letter that he had written to my grandmother after he reached Vietnam. It sure makes me happy that you think that I made a good choice when I married her, because I sure love her with all my heart, and I'm glad that you want to help because her mother doesn't want to, or just plain won't help us. Well, he was in the Army for 12 years. He got hit, I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact boat, but he was in the 1st Infantry, and he was on one of the landing crafts that would go up the river to supply the troops. And he was shot, and shrapnel hit him in the leg. My dad didn't really talk about his service or what happened in Vietnam. It was too hard. So we did them in a book. And as we were growing up, that's how we learned about what happened to him.
I met Charlie going back this April. I was invited to his home and became part of the care team for him. First, when I learned about our relationship and how it hit off right from the beginning is that, and he mentioned it first, it was how much he appreciated myself as a veteran, and he immediately just wanted to open up to me and talk about a lot of deep things, and things he didn't share just with anybody. Some of these things, such as some of his experiences in Vietnam and things he's still been wrestling with that he feels like has given him depression or second guessing the things he did. And he talked about being a coward. You know, I unpack that because that's the last thing I think of him as a coward, because of what, not just, you could see all the awards he was received, and he was a hero just by seeing everything that he earned, but what he's done for the veterans in this state and on a national level, and how active he was in doing things for vets. And he gave a lot of his time serving vets for such a long time, and helping vets deal with things.
His major calling was the Military of Order of Purple Hearts, where he was a commanding officer for the state of Oregon, where pretty much he just dedicated his whole rest of his life was towards helping and honoring other vets. That's also where he got involved in the Honor Guard, and he would go to the funeral services of other veterans and honor them as a part of the Honor Guard. And he did that pretty much all the way till he went into the hospital. He was always with them. He was so humble and so sweet, and he touched everybody, and he didn't even know it. And then the thing that's affected me the most is he brought our family together. So maybe his death has been emotional, but at the same time, there's that positive light because he got our family to be close. it didn't really hit us at first. At least it didn't hit me at first. Until they started talking about some of his bucket lists and how he wanted to travel and wanted to do this and that. And then I could see that it was definitely going to be hard. It's going to be a hard journey. Hospice was really great, and I didn't even know, even though I work in an oncology group, I didn't know what hospice really was until I got involved with it. Having them come and sit down in our home and talk with us and go through everything with us and checking on them, which was very comforting to me because I live in Seattle area, so it was nice that someone was checking up and making sure they were okay, and if they had any questions or concerns, I could count on them to be helping my parents with that.
As the last weeks were coming, we started to come out twice a week, sometimes every day. The whole care team, we all became very close, not just the nurse, but the social worker, the massage therapist, and myself. More of the family came, and we got to meet them and really establish a relationship with them and his daughters. We got to know his daughters a lot more through that time and help them with the grieving process and comfort them and know that we're here to serve all of you and to help you through this time. We're here for you. So.
I didn't realize really how important it is to have hospice, and also what is amazing is that it still continued. They know they still check up on my mom to see if she's okay, so the quality of care is fantastic, what we received. It doesn't have to be a terrible thing. At least with my dad, I say this to everybody, that my dad couldn't have had a better ending to his amazing life, and that is the truth. My dad almost wrote the ending to his life, and it came out almost exactly the way he wanted it.